Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by green fields and winding rivers, there lived an old man named Govind. He had worked hard his entire life, tilling the soil, building his home with his own hands, and raising 3 sons who were the pride of his heart. As Govind grew older, he knew his time was nearing an end, and there was one matter that weighed heavily on his mind: who among his 3 sons would inherit his land and property? He wanted his land to go to the one who had the sharpest mind, the clearest heart, and the ability to think beyond the obvious. So, one evening, he called his 3 sons to his room and told that I may not live much longer. I want to see which of you has the wisdom to manage the land when I am gone. Tomorrow, each of you will go to the market with some money. Buy something that is large enough to fill my bedroom, yet small enough to fit in your pocket. From this, I will decide who is the wisest. The sons looked at each other in surprise. What kind of task was this? But they respected their father's words and agreed. The next morning, the eldest son hurried to the market. He bought the piece of cloths. What better than cloth? Cloth is useful, and it can cover walls, beds, floors, everything. The eldest son spread the cloth all around the floor. But when he was finished, only patches of the ground were covered. The walls and the ceiling stood bare. The room felt no fuller than before. The middle son thought differently. On his trip to the market, he noticed bundles of hay stacked high. Hay is light, it can be carried in small bundles, and when spread out, it covers a lot of space. This will surely fill the room, he reasoned. He filled his pockets with dry hay and returned home. He entered the bedroom and began spreading hay across the floor. The yellow stalks scattered, covering more space than the cloth had. But still, the room wasn't full. The hay only managed to cover part of the floor, leaving most of the room empty. Govind sighed gently. You thought well, but it is not enough. Finally, it was the youngest son's turn. He had walked quietly through the market the day before, thinking deeply about his father's words. Large enough to fill the room, yet small enough to fit in my pocket. The words echoed in his mind. After much thought, he stopped at a stall selling simple wooden boxes of matches. He bought one, slipped it into his pocket. Now, standing in his father's bedroom, the youngest son pulled out the tiny matchbox. The boy struck a match. The flame danced to life, small yet bright. Within seconds, the entire bedroom was filled, not with cloth, not with hay, but with light. The glow reached every corner, touching the floor, the walls, the ceiling. Father smiled and said, "My son, you have understood the riddle. What fills a room without taking space is light. Your thinking is beyond the ordinary." So he had given entire land to his youngest son. The elder 2 sons, though disappointed, could not deny the truth. They respected their father's decision.